At this present time I'm with Ben, sitting beside a cornfield, and as I'm sitting here I'm thinking of Matthew chapter 13, which describes the parable of the seed sower told by Christ. In the parable he describes 4 categories of soil, 4 places where seeds fall when the farmer plants them. Some seed fall on the wayside, some in shallow soil, some seed fall among thorns and thistles, and other seed falls on good ground. He describes the experience of the seeds. The birds come and take away the seed that falls on the wayside, the hardened ground. The seed that falls in the shallow soil, it springs up quickly, but when the sun comes out, like today, it quickly withers away and dies. The seed that falls among thorns and thistles is choked up and doesn't survive very long. And the seed that falls in the good soil grows and bears fruit. He goes on to describe that the soil represents the heart, and the seed represents the word, and the growth cycle of the seed represents a person's experience. And where I'm at the moment, let me show you. You've got the different categories. You've got the wayside there, the hard ground. There you've got the stony ground. You've got the thistles and the thorns, and you've got the good soil. Remember, the soil represents the heart, the seed represents the word, and the growth cycle represents the experience. Now there we have the hardened ground. You can see why a seed wouldn't grow there. It's just too tough, and there are birds around, and they will come as soon as they see the seeds, as soon as they see the farmer planting the seed, and they'll snatch up that seed and eat it away. Christ tells us that that's what the devil does. Where some people are concerned, for whatever reason their hearts are so hard that they reject the word straight away, the devil comes and takes up whatever goodness the Most High has left with them. But does the Most High leave them alone? I believe that imagine if you wanted to plant seed in this ground, what would you have to do? You'd have to take a shovel and bash the ground, soften the soil so that a seed would grow. So the Most High doesn't leave these hard-hearted people. He allows certain things to happen, that their hearts might be softened. And I think that's why he says, do not consider it strange, the fiery trial. He doesn't want to leave us, so he will create circumstances that will soften our hearts. Then you move on to the shallow, stony soil. You can see why nothing would really grow there, and Christ knew what he was talking about in the fact that there's a lot of stuff growing there, but nothing at all growing there, because the soil is shallow and there's not much quality there, and things are growing up, look, but they're not anywhere near as strong looking as the seed that fell upon the good soil. So you can see the difference between something growing in good soil and something growing in stony soil. I remember the stony soil, or the seed that falls, or the growth cycle of the seed that falls in the stony soil, represents those who hear the word and straight away they're interested, and they seem to be like good, strong Christians, but they have a shallow experience, and for me it means that they never really get to know Christ. And so when the persecution comes, because they don't know him, they're not quick to lean upon him, and so they go back to their old ways. We've got here the thistles, and Christ describes that the growth cycle of the seed that falls among the thorns it represents someone who hears the word but is taken away by the cares of this world. Their experience is choked up by the cares of this world, by the people that they hang around with, and so on and so forth. What do you need to do in order to experience or to escape this experience? You need to separate yourself from these things. 1 John chapter 2 tells us that we ought not to love the world nor anything that is in the world. These thistles here represent the things of the world, whether it be a job or a person or whatever else you can think of. And no seed will thrive among these things. Then we have the good soil. Soil that has been prepared by the farmer. And those who are represented by the good soil are those who hear the word and gladly receive it, and they are the ones who bear much fruit. Scripture tells us, though, and here we have the corn, that the growth cycle of these people, they're not excellent Christians straight away. They have to grow into it. There's a portion of Scripture, and I'll put the reference in the information section, that describes the growth cycle of corn. It talks about first the blade, then the ear, then the full head of corn in the ear. So we, those of us who receive the word gladly, still have to be patient and grow at the rate that the Most High would have us grow. We're not complete Christians in a day. We, over our lives, develop as the corn has a growth cycle. So do we. What is it that basically promotes growth in the corn? It's all of the elements that the Most High sends. It's the ground, the sunlight, and the water, and a number of other things combined. They promote growth and bring about growth. All of these things are sent by our Creator. And if we rely upon the things that the Creator sends for us and does for us spiritually, if we, like the corn, rely upon Him entirely, we will grow and eventually bear fruit. I'm hoping that my rambling on has made sense to at least one. Please pray for me as I pray for you.